Ever wish you had a secret weapon for quickly becoming truly well-informed on a new topic? You know, cutting through the noise, hitting those aha moments, and getting straight to the core insights without drowning in, well, just a sea of information. Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Here, we take your articles, your research, your notes, whatever you give us, and we extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight. Think of it as your custom-tailored shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today, we're diving deep into the really dynamic world of the entrepreneurship ecosystem. We've pulled insights from a very comprehensive training unit focused specifically on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our mission basically is clear. We want to uncover the crucial elements that truly make an environment thrive for entrepreneurs. We need to understand the very real hurdles they face and then pinpoint the essential factors that drive success. And we'll use real-world examples to illustrate it all. Okay, so let's kick things off. When we think about entrepreneurship, it's easy to just picture someone starting a small business, maybe a coffee shop or, I don't know, a tech startup. But the sources we looked at reveal something far more profound. It's not just about commerce. Entrepreneurship is absolute critical for building prosperous and sustainable societies worldwide.
Exactly. It's easy to focus on the individual business, but the ripple effect is just immense. Economically, it's a powerful engine for innovation and growth. Think about it. New businesses mean new products, new services, and crucially, new jobs. They can literally transform entire economies, shifting them towards more dynamic, knowledge-based models.
Right, moving beyond just traditional industries.
Precisely. But if we zoom out even further, the individual and social impact is equally, maybe even more, significant. Entrepreneurship fosters initiative, it molds future leaders. It's absolutely essential for building a knowledge economy because it actively cultivates creativity and innovation, particularly among young people.
That makes sense, empowering the next generation.
Yes, and it empowers individuals, especially graduates, to develop new products, new tech-based business ideas, which then, in turn, creates entirely new job opportunities, sometimes in sectors that didn't even exist before. It also enhances self-reliance, independence, encouraging people to take responsibility for their own outcomes. And here's something maybe less obvious. It can even shift wealth concentration.
How so?
By distributing financial opportunity more broadly across society. That's a powerful contributor to social stability. Ultimately, it drives societal development forward, replacing outdated systems, old technologies with new, more efficient ones, improving quality of work, productivity for everyone.
So it's really foundational, isn't it? Transformative. But it can't just magically appear or thrive in a vacuum, can it? I mean, a lone entrepreneur, however brilliant, still needs a lot of support. Our sources highlight this complex, interconnected web. They call it an ecosystem.
Precisely. And this ecosystem, it's built on 6 fundamental pillars. Each one is absolutely vital. Let's start with the first one, government policies.
Okay. The rules and regulations.
Exactly. These are the regulations, laws, incentives that create a sustainable environment. Governments need to encourage free enterprise, remove legal or bureaucratic barriers, make it easier, essentially. In Saudi Arabia, for example, a really proactive step was establishing Monchat back in 2016. The Small and Medium Enterprises General Authority, specifically created to foster that entrepreneurial spirit and support the whole SME sector. And then there's the Research, Development, and Innovation Authority, launched in 2021. Plus, ongoing efforts to simplify procedures, offer incentives for business incubators, accelerators. It's a very deliberate effort to set the stage.
Wow. Monchat, established back in 2016, that's quite proactive, shows real long-term commitment. So the government sets the stage, provides that crucial framework. But even with the best intentions, a business needs more than just rules, right? It needs fuel, money.
Exactly right. Which brings us to our second pillar, financial institutions. They provide the healthy investment environment and the varied funding sources entrepreneurs desperately need. Saudi Arabia has strong government funds, like the Social Development Bank, the SME Bank, the Saudi Industrial Development Fund. But what's particularly interesting here is the growing role of venture capital firms, VCs.
Right, not just traditional banks.
No. Unlike banks that just lend money, VCs participate. They share the risk. And they often extend support well beyond the initial setup, right into those crucial growth phases. And we absolutely can't forget fintech. It's making a huge difference.
Like crowdfunding.
Exactly. Crowdfunding platforms, Manfa Financial in Arabia, Motoraba Financial, they're broadening access to funding significantly. How? By allowing lots of individuals to contribute smaller amounts. It's a real game changer for many startups.
Okay, so policy, finance, what's next?
Next, we move to the third pillar, Community culture.
Ah, the mindset.
Precisely. This isn't just about money or laws. It's about cultivating a societal mindset that genuinely values professionalism, takes pride in work, embraces risk-taking, encourages independence. Saudi Vision 2030, our sources tell us, places a really strong emphasis on fostering exactly this kind of entrepreneurial culture. And you can see it in action. Numerous programs, workshops, events like hackathons run by government, private sector, universities.
So a conscious effort to change perceptions.
A very deliberate effort, yes, to shift ingrained perceptions and really celebrate entrepreneurship.
That cultural shift sounds incredibly powerful. It's like creating fertile ground for ideas to even sprout. So once you have the culture and the funding, who's actually there to guide these new ventures day to day?
That brings us neatly to our fourth pillar, supporting entities.
Incubators, accelerators, that kind of thing.
Exactly. These are the organizations offering diverse, specialized services, everything from training, rehabilitation, financial aid, organizational support, critical advisory services, logistical help. In Saudi Arabia, we've seen a real boom in incubators and accelerators. Think of the Badir program for technology incubators, or WAD, that's Aramco's incubator.
Yep.
These places are absolutely vital. They provide crucial resources, information, specialized consultations, financial, accounting, legal especially, to startups in those really vulnerable formative stages. Other key players include the Human Resources Development Fund, HRDF, and even Saudi Post, SPL. They offer different kinds of practical support that you might not immediately think of.
Got it. So a whole network of help. What's pillar 5?
Our fifth pillar, and arguably one of the most critical, is human capital.
People, talent.
Yes. Developing a skilled, innovative workforce. It actually starts surprisingly early. The family plays a foundational role in nurturing entrepreneurial traits from childhood. Beyond that, it emphasizes an education and training system that prioritizes creativity and innovation, moving beyond just rote learning.
And experience must count for a lot, too.
Absolutely. There's an indispensable need for experienced individuals, serial entrepreneurs, to step up and mentor new generations. That knowledge transfer is just invaluable.
That makes perfect sense. You can have all the infrastructure in the world, but without the right talent and mindset, well, it just won't click.
So you've got the people, the support, the funding. What's the final piece of this ecosystem puzzle?
The sixth and final pillar, a promising market.
Simply put, yes. The presence of potential customers for innovative goods and services. You need a market with purchasing power, naturally. And importantly, one that's flexible enough to embrace new products, new ideas. What's really transformed this landscape, as our sources highlight, is e-commerce. It has dramatically broken down geographical barriers.
Right, small businesses can go global now.
Almost instantly. It allows them to compete globally. And social media. It's become an absolutely massive tool for information exchange, idea promotion, marketing, sales, making it easier than ever for new ventures to connect directly with that promising market.
That's a truly comprehensive look at the support structure. It sounds like Saudi Arabia is really building something robust there. But let's be real, the entrepreneurial journey isn't exactly a walk in the park, is it? Despite all this foundational support, it's not without its severe difficulties. So what are some of the common roadblocks that entrepreneurs inevitably hit?
You're absolutely right. While the ecosystem provides a robust foundation, entrepreneurs frequently face significant, often grueling, challenges. First up, income instability, especially in those early stages.
Yeah, the paycheck disappears.
Right. Income is often meager, unpredictable, a stark contrast to a traditional salary. Many people think they can handle it, but going from that steady paycheck to, maybe I'll make enough this month, well, that takes a special kind of courage, doesn't it?
Definitely. What else?
Second, there's profound risk. The failure rate for small projects is high, really high. That means you absolutely have to plan meticulously, develop strong coping strategies for potential setbacks. It's not just about losing money. It's putting everything on the line.
Like building a house with your life savings.
And knowing a storm could wipe it out anytime. That's the kind of risk they live with daily. Third, brace yourself for long working hours.
Ah, the classic startup life.
It demands an intense, often unlimited time commitment. It basically consumes your life. And this often leads straight into the fourth challenge, social commitment interference.
Meaning family, friends.
Exactly. The demanding nature of entrepreneurship frequently pushes social and family life into the background. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It requires extremely careful prioritization and balance. Otherwise, it can lead to real personal strain.
I can imagine. Pressure must be immense, too.
Which is number 5, the sheer work pressure. That significant investment, combined with the weight of being fully responsible for everything, it can lead to considerable stress and anxiety. It's amplified because the buck stops with you. You're the decision maker, the one accountable for all outcomes.
Which links to the next one.
Yes, the sixth challenge, full responsibility. Entrepreneurs often find themselves making decisions in areas completely outside their expertise, finance, marketing, HR, and they bear complete accountability for the outcomes. There's no one else to pass the buck to, which can be incredibly daunting.
Okay, one more challenge.
And finally, number 7, frustration. The path to success requires immense sacrifice and patience. Positive results don't always materialize quickly, and setbacks are pretty much guaranteed. Entrepreneurs have to cultivate deep resilience and, frankly, unwavering optimism to keep pushing through.
Those are some serious, deeply personal hurdles.
Wow.
It sounds like it takes a truly special kind of person to navigate all that. So once you've acknowledged these challenges, how do entrepreneurs actually overcome them? What are the keys to not just surviving, but, truly thriving?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Success, much like the ecosystem, is multifaceted. Our sources break down the critical success factors into 2 broad categories. First, personal factors. These relate directly to the entrepreneur themselves.
Okay, like what?
Number 1, knowledge and qualification. It's paramount. You need specialized knowledge in your chosen field, yes, but also in business administration, market dynamics. This means not just reading books, but gathering info from diverse sources, getting practical, hands-on training, real learning.
Makes sense. What else? Second, experience in the project field. Experience is just such a vital shortcut to success. It gives you those crucial insights, what people sometimes call the secret of the profession. You can gain it by working with specialists, or even better, finding a dedicated mentor.
Someone who's been there, done that?
Exactly. Third, the ability to build a network. This is absolutely essential, non-negotiable really. It's how you exchange ideas, find partners, find investors, attract new customers, stay updated with market trends through conferences, workshops, social media. Your network is your net worth, truly.
Okay, knowledge, experience, network.
Yeah.
What else?
Fourth, commitment and seriousness. These aren't just buzzwords. These behavioral traits are fundamental. They're what you need to achieve your goals, drive excellence, ensure long-term success. It's about showing up every single day, ready to grind.
Got it. And the 5th personal factor. 5th is team leadership. The ability to inspire, to guide a team towards common goals, foster cooperation, navigate obstacles together. A successful leader needs a clear vision, yes, but also the capacity to motivate others, especially when things get tough.
Right. So those are the personal traits. What about factors related to the business itself?
Good question. Let's look at the enterprise-related factors. Things about the business itself. First, a preliminary project study, a thorough initial study.
Like a feasibility study.
Exactly. To assess that the idea can actually become a commercial venture. It includes financial projections, market analysis, understanding potential challenges. It's about facing the reality of your project before you dive in headfirst.
Crucial step. Avoid wasting time and money.
Absolutely. Second, good planning. This means defining clear objectives, clear tasks for every part of the business. It's not just a nice to have, it's a vital tool for measuring performance, making strategic decisions. It's your roadmap.
Okay. Planning. What's next?
Third, a skilled team. Attracting and retaining competent, motivated individuals. With the right incentives, of course. Your team's efficiency is honestly one of the core drivers of success. A weak team can sink even the strongest idea.
You're only as good as your people.
Pretty much. Fourth, access to funding sources. We talked about financial institutions, but from the enterprise perspective, it's about identifying and securing suitable financial resources. Understanding the terms, the flexibility, how it impacts your control over the project, it's absolutely vital. Think of it like oxygen for the business.
Right. Can't survive without it.
Exactly. And finally, fifth, effective management of enterprise functions. This covers several key areas, even for small businesses.
Like what specifically?
Well, you need to implement the 4 management functions: planning, organizing, directing, and controlling to ensure efficient operations. That includes solid financial and inventory controls. Then there's the marketing function, developing a strong marketing strategy tailored to your project, leveraging modern tools, social media,
Understanding a market.
identifying opportunities, enhancing product quality. It's amazing how digital tools have leveled the playing field here. Smaller companies can really punch above their weight now.
True. What other functions?
Don't forget the financial and accounting function. Efficiently managing finances, understanding basic accounting, using financial data to spot problems like falling sales, low profits, high debt, and then optimizing how you use your resources.
And technology.
Absolutely critical. Employing modern technology, this is non-negotiable today. Integrate tech for administrative automation. Use software for HR, accounting, inventory. Leverage cloud computing, AI, e-marketing tools. Many are free or low cost now. They dramatically enhance efficiency, enable expansion. Plus, solid internet connectivity isn't just for communication. It gives you crucial backup and collaboration capabilities.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. We've talked about the theory, the pillars, the challenges, the success factors, abstract concepts, kind of. But how does this actually play out in the messy, exciting, real world? We found a fantastic illustration in our sources, the story of Aramex and its founder, Fadi Gandour.
Ah, yes, the story of Aramex. It
Yeah.
really is a masterclass in entrepreneurial success. So Fadi Gandour, inspired by FedEx, started Aramex in Jordan back in 1981. He had limited capital, and at the time, DHL completely dominated the Middle East and Pakistan market.
Tough competition from the start.
Extremely tough. But Aramex didn't try to directly copy or out-muscle DHL. Instead, they did something very smart. They strategically positioned themselves not as a global competitor to giants like FedEx, but as their local, efficient arm in the Middle East.
Ah, clever, like a partner.
Exactly. Their pitch was brilliant. Why build your own expensive network here when you can rely on us? We know the region. We're based here. We can deliver faster, cheaper, better quality. And Gander was relentless about building human capital. He prioritized getting deep technical expertise. He actually brought full teams to train in the U.S. with global courier giants to really strengthen his company's foundations.
Investing in his people.
Heavily. Aramex expanded shrewdly, too, growing through strategic acquisitions of smaller companies across Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, building a robust distribution network piece by piece. This deliberate, well-planned growth eventually led to global recognition. Aramex achieved a huge milestone, becoming the first Arab company ever listed on NASDAQ.
Wow, NASDAQ, that's huge.
Huge. But then in 2004, they faced a truly massive crisis.
What happened?
DHL acquired Airborne. Airborne was Aramex's primary global partner at the time. And DHL abruptly ceased all cooperation, just cut them off.
No, that sounds devastating.
For almost any company, it would have been catastrophic, especially since Aramex was so deeply intertwined with Airborne's operations. It was a genuine existential threat.
So how did they survive?
Okay, get this. Here's the key. Aramex had proactively, before this crisis ever hit, developed its own integrated software system, completely in-house.
No way, they built their own tech backbone.
Exactly. Incredible foresight. It meant that when the partnership abruptly ended, Aramex could continue its services without missing a single beat. Nothing stopped. This deep internal resilience allowed Aramex not just to survive, but to truly transform. From a strong regional player into a global logistics company. Today, they operate in over 50 countries, more than 13,000 employees, annual profits over $700 million. It's just an incredible testament to their adaptability and, crucially, their planning.
Wow. What absolutely incredible story. That really brings all our, abstract discussions to life. So looking at Aramex, what elements of the ecosystem, the challenges, those success factors, what do you see shining through most clearly in Fadi Gandour's journey?
Well, you can instantly spot that initial promising market in the Middle East, right? It was ripe for a more agile delivery service. Their commitment to human capital, sending teams to train in the U.S., undeniable. And the good planning and skilled team are so evident in their strategic growth, and crucially, in their resilience during that 2004 crisis, that software system.
Right, the planning saved them.
Absolutely. I'd also say the growing presence of financial institutions and the maturing government policies in the region must have played a key role, enabling their early operations and that huge NASDAQ listing. And despite all that success, you can absolutely feel the risk, the long working hours, the immense work pressure he and his team must have faced, especially building such a pioneering company and then navigating that DHL disaster. It's really the full package, illustrated perfectly.
It really is. This deep dive has, I think, truly explored the crucial elements that build a thriving entrepreneurship ecosystem. The common, very real challenges entrepreneurs grapple with, and those essential personal and enterprise-related factors for success. But there's one unique, truly powerful takeaway from that Aramex story. For me, it's this. Their ability to not just survive, but absolutely thrive after a major partnership failed was due entirely to their foresight, developing their own integrated software system before the crisis even hit. It raises an important question for all of us, I think, whether we're aspiring entrepreneurs or just navigating our own careers. How often do we truly prioritize building internal resilience, building robust contingency plans, developing our own integrated software system, so to speak, before external dependencies or opportunities might just unexpectedly disappear? Something to think about. We really hope this deep dive has sparked your own entrepreneurial spirit, or at least given you some powerful new insights into how these ecosystems, challenges, and success factors might apply to your own endeavors or interests. Thanks so much for joining us.